Welcome to the Popko Project Podcast, a platform for the discussion and discovery of arts and entertainment. We focus on highlighting people and events that add value to the world around us. Visit us on all social media platforms by searching the Popko Project or visit our website at thepopkoproject.com. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for listening. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Contact Keller's today and get your yard cleaned up before that dirty old man winter comes. I hate to say it, but he's on his way. The mornings are cold. They're frigid. I don't like it. I'm turning the steering wheel warmer on. I'm putting the seat warmers on. It's just miserable. But contact Keller's today. And if you're looking for snow removal services during the winter months, they can take care of that for you too. Do not break your back this winter and leave the heavy lifting to the professionals at Keller's, family owned and operated. Their team is looking forward to serving you. Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services, located on Kern Street in Exeter near Blue Ribbon Dairy. Find them on social media to learn more. Welcome to the show, Mr. and Mrs. Scoville Unit.
Glad to be here.
How are you?
Doing all right.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I was introduced to the Scoville Unit. I guess it's 2023 now, which hard to believe. But I guess it was back in 2020 during the pandemic, and I was working with the Goombas, the garden Goombas. And they were hosting like a pepper eating contest. I think it was at Radano's in I think it was late 2020.
Yeah, it was around the second week of football season. It was in September.
Yes. So I was first introduced to the Scoville Unit back then, way back when. And then obviously you're a fan of the podcast, and I've had the Goombas on since then again, and you've been very interactive with their episode, and I know we chatted a little bit behind the scenes, and you hit me up, and I was like, you know what? I'm glad you hit me up because I was thinking about you too. So I'm glad we could set this up.
Appreciate it.
Because you kind of came like out of nowhere almost. I mean, like I said, I remember talking to you and hear about you back in 2020, and then this year, like late 2022, and then I guess you have a big year plan this year. You kind of hit the scene. You're on the front page of the newspaper, I think.
Yep.
So
it was the Citizen's Voice, to be exact. Yeah. They did a nice little page with me. They came to my house and they did an interview with me and talked to her for like a half hour or so, and she put an awesome article in the paper for me. Yeah.
So, I mean, tell me a little bit who the Scoville Unit is, and obviously you're accompanied by your the missus. Talk to me about who you are. Because like I said, I've read things on the internet. I read the article in the newspaper, but excited to kind of get to know you a little better tonight.
So the Scoville Unit is kind of like my alter ego, more or less, and it kind of turned into my present form, where this is what people see me as now constantly, besides my family and close friends that have known me forever. But when it comes to social media or anything like that, it's the Scoville Unit. We know him, yada, yada, yada. We saw you on the news. We saw you on the paper. So the Scoville Unit was born during the pandemic. Originally, it was just me eating peppers and talking about local news, world news, like where the topics are hot and peppers are hotter. And it really burst into be more because one person said, "You got something going here with your peppers and your hot sauce. You're doing reviews on that." Oh, there goes the dogs.
That's all right.
They said, "Hey, we want you to do more of this, but let's drop the news aspect and the politics aspect, and we'll sponsor you." And I'm like, okay, let's make it happen. So I did a real quick flip of the script, and I ended up finding a couple people on YouTube that I'm still very close with now. Today's Adventure, Ryan and Lee, and then Late for Work, Jason and Kim. And I ended up falling into the League of Fire. And that's where the Scoville Unit really became a thing, where I started doing challenges and kicking it up. And I started seeing how big this community actually is. And to think that when I was 9 years old, I was eating hot stuff already, and I never knew it would grow to be in something like this. And I thank my Opa for that every day, which is my grandfather. He's the real reason why I am the way I am, with the crazy tolerance and all that. So if it wasn't for the pandemic, this wouldn't be happening.
I think a lot of things were born in the pandemic, as terrible as it was, right? I mean, world shuts down. People lose their jobs, people lose family members, people lose friends. A lot was born from the pandemic. A lot of people were like forced to pivot and kind of create. I mean, this project of mine was kind of born in the pandemic. Granted, I had a life of kind of like this before that, but definitely born during the pandemic. And so as terrible as it was, it's kind of cool to see people taking advantage of a terrible situation and making the best out of it. Obviously, you're one of them. So you started eating hot stuff at 9 years old.
9 years old. My Opa.
By accident or what?
No, my Opa took us down to the garden and was feeding us chives and garlic and peppers, and I ended up falling in love with peppers. No, he wasn't feeding me super hots like ghosts and stuff, but he was feeding me bell peppers, banana peppers, stuff like that. And I always had a really bit of like kind of a fancy for like Louisiana style hot sauce, like the store brand stuff that you can get any day. And then it kind of rolled into like, there's hotter out there. And my buddy Joel Skursky, he was my bartender. He used to make like really hot sauce, and I used to try them, and they used to hurt me like bad. And then it grew more and more, and I started realizing how many small batch sauces there were. It's kind of like beer, like how you have the micro brews, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of types of beer. It's the same exact way for hot sauce. There are micro brews. There's large processed, like you can go with your Frank's is like your Bud Light, Miller Lite, and then you got your Bull Cow sauce, your Ink Gardner sauce, my sauce is small batch. It's kind of like a micro brew kind of deal. And it's just insane. I have behind me over 260 bottles of sauce on my wall.
You're doing hot sauce bottles. I'm doing beer bottles over here.
Yeah. See,
that's awesome. Yeah. So obviously, explain the Scoville unit. I know what it is, but explain it for people who may not know.
The Scoville unit is the measure of heat. So when you bite into a pepper, there's the burning sensation. That is technically your Scoville units. So the Scoville unit is based off of the heat index from, we'll say, green peppers having none to 16 million pure capsaicin crystals. Every pepper has capsaicin in it, minus your bell peppers that really that have no heat at all. But capsaicin grows based off of the pepper. So that's how they measure this heat indexes with the Scoville scale.
So you just kind of adopted that as your name, which is
neat. It's funny because I was like, I need a name, and I'm like, the Scoville unit, and I looked it up and I did some research and nobody had it. I'm like, holy crap.
That's amazing that no one had that.
I couldn't believe it.
It's so easy and so simple, and I think it's a great name.
It fit well.
Yeah, it's funny how things just kind of happen when they do. So it's meant to be, right?
Yeah.
So 9 years old, your grandfather introduced you to peppers. Where did it go from there? Obviously, you didn't start doing challenges, at 9 or 10 years old. Like, talk to me about how it kind of like, carried with you until, to this day.
So my obsession, it really started with Louisiana hot sauce. I would put it on everything. I'd just heat up hot dogs and dip my hot dogs in it. I'd eat it on pizza. I'd eat it on pierogies. I'd eat it in my mashed potatoes. Everything I ate, it went on it. And when my Opa passed away, he had this bottle of sauce that I always wanted to try. He would never let me try it. He used to use it to get the grease stains off of the driveway. And I was always intrigued, like, how does hot sauce, something that you're supposed to eat, get grease off of the sidewalk? Well, at one point my uncle had it and he let me try it with a toothpick, and man, it was just a toothpick, and I felt like my tongue was gonna fall off. At this point, let's see, my uncle passed away in 2008. I was about graduate, so I was about 18 years old. So it was only plain hot sauces like Frank's and store sauce and stuff that like the usual. And he ended up giving me that bottle of sauce, and I was like, yes. And I can't remember what the name was on it, but I know it was in a bottle of Dave's Insanity sauce, but it wasn't Dave's. Something my Opa made. And he gave it to me. So I brought it to the firehouse, and I was like, watch this, guys. And I put it on there. I scrubbed the with the sponge and the grease stain came off. They're like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, it's sauce. I'm like, really? And I had that bottle forever, to the point where it was so old it actually dried up. And it, like I said, it went from me obsessing over that to me getting into it with Joel Skursky and trying his sauces. And then I wanted to make my own sauce. And then I started doing that, and I was like, and then boom, I kind of like died down. I wasn't really big into it. I wasn't buying sauces and stuff like I am now. But like I said, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, I'm like, I want to do something. And it literally, like in 2 years, and just bam, it's a whole different beast than what it was.
It definitely seems that way. Like I said, 2020, I was introduced to you, and within the past 6 months, it's kind of been like, full steam ahead. So, you keep mentioning your own sauce. You make your own?
I make a bunch of different sauces. I see everybody's always like, is it hot? I'm like, I am the wrong person to judge if it's hot. I'm comfortable at 16 million now. Like, I can eat. I have a Trouble Bubble behind me. It's the piece of bubble yum or Trouble Bubble or whatever it is that has coated in pure 16 million capsaicin. I can sit there and chew on that thing like it's nothing. Like, it doesn't bother me. I can eat pepper pods fresh out of the garden by the dozens. It doesn't bother me. Now, my stomach is a different thing, but it's just, I'm like, I want to make my own sauce. So I looked up a base sauce and I started messing around with it, and it was okay. And I'm like, I want to do my own thing. So then I started thinking of names for them, and I'm like, okay, so I'm an avid Dragon Ball Z person. So I'm like, I want to do a Spirit Bomb sauce. I mean, a Spirit Bomb sauce. And the difference in that is it has a little bit of cinnamon in it with ginger. So it has that little bit of a holiday flavor to it. And then I'm like, I want to do another one. I want to do one that's crazy hot. So I made the Beerus, the Sauce of Destruction. And that's like pure pepper mash. And then I have my Thai chili sauce. I made a chocolate cherry nightmare. It's a Hershey syrup based hot sauce. It's a dessert sauce. But my end all be all sauces is that my dad passed down to me because it was a family recipe. It's the SRF sauce, and that's my dad's initial, Samuel Ross Fergali. And it's his bourbon sauce, a sweet bourbon sauce. There's no peppers in it, nothing. It's bourbon, brown sugar, and some spices and other additives. And it literally sells like a snap of a finger. Yeah, like, people try it popular, and they're like, wow, that's so good. They want it on ribs, they want it on the burgers, their wings. They just want to eat it by the spoonful. And I wanted to put my own spin on it, so I made a spicy version with Reapers. So I have like, and then for not to keep bouncing around, but I wanted to do something special because Christmas is always special. You can get people stuff all the time, and it's like you can just go online and buy it. And I'm like, I want to do something special for people that have always been there, that have supported me. So I actually made a brother-in-law series where my 3 brother-in-laws, Tony, Rick, and Shane, that have supported me so much in their own ways. I made a Tone Bones not so hot sauce. It's made with banana peppers because he thinks banana peppers are hot, because he's a little bit of a wiener when it comes to hot stuff.
He's gonna hear that.
I know, and it's funny, but
a wiener. That's great.
I was thinking of other words, but I wanted to try to be as nice as possible.
Sure, yeah, we'll keep it PG.
My other brother-in-law, Rick, his push into this, he always asks how it's going, and he's like, the Scoville Unit, and he's like, and his number one thing is he always comes on my post every live and puts hashtag hot meat because of a challenge that I did. It was the Valhalla Death Sausage, and since then it blew up into hot meat. And finally, my brother-in-law Shane, he's been big on the chili side, like trying stuff, making stuff, getting me stuff, giving me stuff to make stuff. And I made a Shane Storytime sauce because he loves to tell stories. Like, he'll say funny story, and then he'll like tell this 20-minute long story, and it's so funny. So I made a Storytime sauce. It's actually one of my hottest sauces. So I made the brother-in-law bundle, so you can get all 3 in one pack.
Yeah. It's amazing how, I mean, beer, they say, friendships can be made over beer, talking about the style of beer, making beer. I feel like the same can be said about hot sauce these days. Like, it's like this huge community. You share, I mean, you can grow these in your garden. You can use it, fresh out of the garden, right to your kitchen. Talk a little bit about the community. I mean, you mentioned, your this brother-in-law series, and obviously, like, it's important to you, but like, you're bringing your family into it too. Like, you're bringing friends together too. It's really a cool thing.
So the community is just something different than what I'm used to. As you grow up, you know that there's groups. You got your gamers, you got your athletes, you got your bookworms, you got your quiet people like that. This community is just like that. It's a group of people, and they all have their thing that they're good at. And when it comes to the chili community, it's a plethora of people. Like, I never realized how many people were into this until I got into this 2 years ago. And it's thousands and thousands of people worldwide. This is more popular in Europe and overseas than it is here. We're 5 years behind where they are. Like, they have week-long festivals about peppers. And we're just in this area, we're just tipping the scale. Like, people are like, mild sauce. Like, what's mild? Like, that they don't even know what mild sauce is in Europe. So it's funny because you have your growing groups, you have your sauce groups, you have your sauce sale groups, you have your seed groups, you have your sauce companies, you have your seasoning companies, you have your seed companies. Like, there's so much spread around. And then, in my opinion, at the top of all this is the League of Fire. The League of Fire is a world-renowned chili eating championship group where they have products that they send out and they have available, like sauces and that, but they have challenge items. These challenge items are like the top of the chili community. So it all mushes together somehow. And it's crazy because you can say one thing and the person's like, oh, I never heard of that sauce. Or have you heard about the seed? I'm like, I never even knew there was such a thing. Like, every day I see something new or hear something new in this community, and I love it.
It's funny too, because I saw you were doing a chug challenge, I guess you could say.
Do a lot of those.
Yeah. But you were very,
I do them.
It's just funny how, like, in this community and I guess in life in general too, like, what's hot to me might not be hot to somebody else, and
Correct.
What's hot to you might be, like, not hot to whoever. But I saw you did this, you went after spicy cams. You seem very disgusted at this.
I'm very disgusted at spicy cam.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say.
What's the beef?
So I'm literally just a flying gnat that he just waves off, because I can't say this is true, but it's the only thing that makes sense, because you don't just start a TikTok page or a Facebook page or anything like that and have 1 million followers like a snap of a finger. You have to do something. So my first thing was, okay, anybody can buy a following, because you could buy accounts on TikTok and all that with millions of followers. Not saying that's what he did, but that's my understanding of what I was told. He literally
That wasn't even on your radar though. But
it wasn't on my radar when I started. What got me and what set me over the edge is when he self-proclaimed himself the Spice King. And it's not just me, it's every major chili head in the community. If you go on his any of his pages, you'll see people on there with like the fire background and they're animated. You'll see them saying, why are you cutting? Like, he cuts his videos. He doesn't show reaction. He doesn't open it, because when it comes to challenges that, you're supposed to open it on camera, not leave camera, not edit it, do a burn time, no food or drinks. That's it. So this guy's making videos, cutting out, not showing them, opening them, doing whatever he does, and showing no reaction. Fine, but don't call yourself the Spice King when you have people that crap hotter things than you eat.
But it's also about the pain you go through. So
yeah, and it like she said, and she experiences what I go through by being there, because when I'm dying, she's my savior, because like I can't move. Like, it's literally my legs are off in front of me. I'm on the ground rolling around in pain and agony. He doesn't show the reaction. He doesn't show what really happens when you do these challenges. And it gives, I guess, that false sense of anybody can do this, which anybody can if you do the prep and build your tolerance. Anybody can. There's people that are better at this than me that don't have sensitivity to capsaicin, which is just insane. But it's just the fakeness that he's putting on. And I kind of backed away from it for a little bit. But then when my one video blew up, it got 54,000 views. And it's been quiet. And then all of a sudden it blew up again. And I'm getting hate comments and people jumping on my lives saying, Cam's better, you're this, you're that. Like, it just renews it. And it's funny because I backed off 2 weeks after I made my video, not even. He acknowledged myself and one other person that called him out, and noticed that there was people out there doing 20 one-chip challenges, me doing 15. And he did a duet with another guy. His name is Aaron, doing 15 or 20 of them. And he was just sitting there like, I guess I'm not the Spice King. Like he acknowledged us. And then he finally did a video a week after that. He did the one chip challenge and didn't cut, didn't edit. He just did it right then and there, did a little bit of a burn time thing. But then people started pointing out that he had it in his cheek still. He didn't really eat it. And he cut out when he was spitting it out, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, and it just blew up all over again. So
But you commended him for trying.
and I did. I commended him for trying, but then people came back and said, "You're this, you're that, you're jealous, blah blah blah." And I got to the point where I'm just like, "Thanks for the comment and the view, appreciate you."
So there's love and hate in this community, huh?
Oh, it's all over the place.
I love it.
It's just like any other community. There's so much to it. It's this person did this person stole that, this person's trying to do this. He's fake and he's not.
Yeah,
he's showing off.
And the internet, with the videos and stuff, like we can manipulate all that so well now. So it's like, who's the phony, who's lying, who's being real. Did you say you ate 15 of those one chips?
Yes.
One chip, 15 at back to back to back.
After another.
15. Jesus.
There's a guy named Roger. He's from the Hot Dang Show. You should check him out. He did 69 of them, or 60, somewhere around there.
What does that like? What does it feel like? I mean, how is there a point where like you just like you're immune to the?
No. So in my experience, I'm comfortable at it, but to a certain extent. Like if I continuously pile it on, eventually it's gonna hurt. Realistically, capsaicin is a chemical, and that sensation you're feeling is not burning. It's your chemical reaction with your saliva. It's more mind over matter than anything. And I could say that right now. I'll eat something not thinking, it's not realizing it's hot. And as soon as I pay attention to what I'm eating, and I start to feel some on my tongue. It's weird, but there is no way to completely stop it from hurting in any way, except for if you don't have a capsaicin sensitivity. I know of 2 people in the chili community overseas, one in Australia. I think the other one is in Europe. England, somewhere around there, that has no senses to capsaicin. Like it doesn't affect him at all. He broke the world record for eating the most Carolina Reapers at 160. That's the world record right now. 160 Carolina Reapers in one sitting. He only stopped because he ran out.
Wow. I can't imagine. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm a wuss when it comes to heat, but like I'm definitely like I'm on the lower level. Like I'm trying to think of peppers that I've had that like haven't like destroyed me. Even hot sauces. Like I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to. I love hot sauce on my food, especially eggs and pizza, like you said before. But like I don't want to be uncomfortable. I enjoy the taste. I want it to be like something I can eat and get through.
I completely understand that. And people say that to me all the time, like, why would you want to eat that? What doesn't it hurt? I like to enjoy my food. I'm like, but I enjoy it. Your level of comfort is my level of nothing.
Right.
So it's like that's why it's different. So like the people that like, oh, jalapenos are enough, and another person's like, oh, I like habaneros on mine, and I'm like, well, I like ghost peppers on mine. So it's no different. There's levels, and mine's just a little bit more intense.
Yeah, I'm sure you know this, but I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan, and he just did a collaboration with Senora Lechuga hot sauce.
Okay.
And he put there's 3 different I guess flavors you could say. And the one it had ghost pepper in it, and that's probably like the max I could go. It was I can't even say the style, I guess.
Chamoy?
Well, it's ghost pepper, Kalima salt. Is that how you say it? I don't know. And then chill. What did you say it was?
Chamoy?
No, CHILHUACLE. Chilhassel? Chilhassel? I have no idea.
Something spicy. That's what I say it is.
Yeah. And then there was one was habanero, Urfa chili, and paprika. And the one that I really loved it had heirloom tomato, winter truffle, and reapers.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of truffle sauce. I tried the truffle sauce. I think it has a very weird taste.
It does. It's like you have to. It's strange, but I think with the heat and the truffle, it was like a nice combination. Kind of the same way. Like I'm like, I don't know if I like this or if I hate it, but out of the three, that was my favorite.
I'm a sucker for a sweet sauce.
Okay.
I love sweet sauces. So
my
it's hot as hell and tastes like straight peppers and vinegar, and I won't like it. Throw a little sugar in there, a little bit of something sweet. Okay.
my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they got me like this like there's like 25 small little hot sauces. It's like maybe like an ounce, maybe half ounce of each one. I'm a little afraid to try it because I feel like at that point it's just like a manufactured like taste or like heat. Because there's, like I said, there's tons of them. I was a big fan of this Senior Lechuga because I feel like it's like very like fresh ingredients almost.
Yeah.
It's and I just found Pancheros has a hot sauce. It's a red and a green. I think the green is called Grenade. It's more of what is that called? Like a salsa verde almost.
Okay. Yeah.
That's really good too. But yeah, I don't dabble in the really, really hot stuff. My friend Nick and his friend Mikey, they love this shit. They do, the wing challenges, and they've done the one chip challenge. My buddy Nick he owns a veterinary hospital, and he actually did a live video of the one chip challenge, and I think they ended up donating some money to some kind of pet foundation.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool to watch. I have a lot of respect for like people who do that, but like for me, it's just like I'm out. Like, I like the Cholula. I like like I said, this stuff that I was talking about that Joe Rogan had with this company. Like that was kind of a higher level, but a lot of props to like these groups and these people who can like really go that next level.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
It's interesting. There's even for like the group of people like when you say how's the chili community, like I went from a nobody to on everybody's radar in like a snap of a finger. Like everybody that has seen me on YouTube or this and that, like I went from 0 on the League of Fire scale to number 2 in the world. I'm ranked number 2 in the world on the 2022-2023 scale, but I'm ranked 13th overall in the world for the entire shebang.
Yeah, so talk about that. That seems wild. That's pretty cool.
So the League of Fire, like I stated, they have a website, leagueoffire.com. They have all sorts of stuff on there, but the main thing that I focus on when I'm on there is the challenge items. You have the Killer Queen. Beth, you want to grab the bottles right there? Killer Queen 1 and 2. And the Scoville Slammer. You have challenges like these. You got the Killer Queen, the original. This is a 9 million Scoville unit sauce. It's 100 milliliters. It's made with chili mesh, Carolina Reapers, onion, garlic, carrots, lime juice, pineapple juice, cider vinegar, mango, 9 million Scoville unit extract, salt. That's it. This one came out after. This is a Scoville Slammer. This is based off of Johnny Scoville. He's the guy in the chili community. This is made with 13 million Scoville unit extract, super hot chilies, Naga peppers, hurt berry, Trinidad scorpion, Carolina Reaper, red wine vinegar, 13 million Scoville unit extract. And I was saying about the Killer Queen. This one just came out. I was only the second person to try this. This is the 2.0. This is based off of Shahina, the UK chili queen. She is 97-0 in chili eating competitions right now. She holds the world record for the most Carolina Reapers eaten by a female. She is a doll. She is the spokesperson for the League of Fire. I've met her 2 times now, and she's the most humbled person, and she's awesome. She's all around awesome. So these challenges, this one is worth 10 points. This one's worth 9. And this one is worth 7. And then they also have the volume chugs. They have volume 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4 discontinued. 5 is just about done. They just sent the last out. And then or 4 just got sent out. 4 is available still, and 5 is just right now. I don't know if they're making it again, but every year they make it different. Last year they did like a Christmas type where it had like mint in it, and this year they did a pumpkin flavored one. So each one is worth 4 points. So each challenge has its own point system. You got Rice Krispie treat bars that are hot. You got one of him in the Nemesis. This is the challenge I have. I have the only challenge so far that I've failed, and I have not redone yet. This is one of the first ones. This is called the Nemesis bar. This is a half pound of dark chocolate infused with Carolina Reapers. So they have 3 or 4 challenges like this that you could do. You have to speed eat it for points, or you could eat the whole bar. But every challenge you do, it's open on camera, drink on camera, or eat on camera in the direction that it states. No food or water. And you have to complete the burn time, and everything has to stay on camera for you to get the points. So the point system, like I explained, each challenge is different. There's so many different ones. And they also included a pepper board where you have the Reapers, or if you eat Reapers a certain amount, it has to be weighed, it has to be recorded. You have to do your weight from when you start and what you weigh when you finish, how many you ate, you get points for that. And then there's the 7-Pop Primo tail. Or 7-Pop Primo, I'm sorry. There's just so much. It's everybody, and it's expensive because this bar itself is $25.
Wow.
These chugs are $15 a piece. So it's like you got people doing 10, 15 at a time. There's a guy named Pyro Pipple, James from Canada, that is the leader on the boards, and he has pretty much held all the records until recently. A couple people beat his records, but he was doing 15, 20 of these chugs at a time. And it's like, it's unreal. I barely could do 4. And if you don't prep properly, you're looking at anywhere from 3 hours to 12 hours of constant pain.
Wow. So you can achieve the status like at home if you were to purchase these things and record this on video, and you can kind of get to those different levels.
Yeah, so you can create an account on League of Fire. You create your own thing. So even if you do a 1-chip challenge, as long as you follow directions, you go to League of Fire, create a profile, upload your YouTube video, and it gives you a point. And then you're automatically on the board. And the cool thing is, and I think I have one right here actually, is when you start gaining points and everything, you get one of these.
Oh, cool.
You get put on a collectible card.
That's neat. It's
called League of Fire Heroes, and it put your name, a number, a photo, and then it says, Chris will take on any challenge no matter how hot he is from West Pittston, Pennsylvania. Chris is a League of Fire hero. So then you get these. So everybody gets a card. Beth's working on getting hers right now because she started doing some challenges because she just wants her card, and then she's retiring. She's done.
Wow, way to tell everybody for me. He always steals my thunder.
No, she'll keep doing them. She's enjoying it. She's trying to get more involved, and you're enjoying it. You know you are.
No.
Yeah, Chris, we'll get back to you. Let's talk to the missus here. Beth, what do you think about all this? Like from a health standpoint, seeing your husband in all this pain, supporting him through this. And he mentioned it could be hell on your stomach. My wife wants to kill me because I snore at night. I mean, are we dealing with adverse effects of Chris's,
Raises life insurance if that's what you're asking.
Okay, that's smart. Okay.
But no, the doctor says it's actually quite healthy for him. But what's not healthy is when he strips down naked in a public neighborhood and goes outside and lays in the snow.
It happened. It happened. I was a beginner, and I did the Killer Queen Chug Challenge for the first time. And
we had a fence. It was okay.
It was an 8-foot privacy fence, but the neighbor's camera on the second story pointed down into the yard. So I didn't do anything really that hot before. I was still learning what cap cramps were, and apparently I did not realize that I can get cap cramps from it. And I did the challenge. It was my first chug challenge, and 5 minutes after I got off the camera and done recording, I was rolling on the floor, freaking out, yelling at her to go get me Tums and such. And when she came back, I was laying in the backyard in my underwear in the snow pile because I was burning up.
Did that help?
No.
It
melted the snow.
I melted the snow fast because I was burning up, but there's a whole cycle. I'll talk about the cap cramps.
It's a adventure for sure. It's an honor to be his sidekick, but sometimes it ropes me in. Like, to me, cap cramps are worse than a menstrual cycle. Like, it's a nightmare, and he just tolerates it. And I'm like, how? He's definitely some sort of superhuman in my book, and I may be biased because he's my husband.
Sure.
But he's definitely got something special, and he acts like he's always so stone-faced when he does these challenges. But when you meet him in real life, he's just, I'll tell him, I say, he's sweet, and he's funny, and he's charismatic. But
I gotta have some kind of character that
you gotta get in a zone. It's like sports, right?
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's any time, and I always tell people like, "Oh, how do you prep?" And I'm like, it's not just prep, but you got to put yourself in a position. I even tell people when they're doing something, pick a spot, focus on that spot, turn off your hearing, focus on that one spot, and keep staring at it. All you need to do is focus on that spot and the sound of your breathing.
He did a public challenge, and this ER guy was there to monitor everyone, and he kept checking on me. He goes, he's saying he's okay. Is he okay? I go, yeah, that's normal. He was just laying on the ground.
I was laying on the ground,
chilling.
making love to a massive garbage can that I had to wrestle from security.
But like, I'm used to it. A lot of people freak out. A lot of, not to bash on people, but
camera.
I thought there was. Oh, I'm actually seen. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're seen. You're in here.
So a lot of people don't like their significant other doing it because it's intimidating. It is, and it is time consuming. So Chris and we're on separate schedules. We don't see each other a lot. We live with each other. So people think that I get angry because he does the challenges, but no, I'm cool. He lets me play my video games. And he gets to lay on the floor cramping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
it's
an adventure.
Match made in heaven. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta balance each other out. It's good.
You were saying about how you get roped in. Tell me how you get roped in.
Yeah. So you're doing some challenges too. Like, I mean, now how did that happen? Like your husband's doing this. Like you see the obvious pain he's in. Like what makes you say, I want to try that too?
There's this thing called puppy dog eyes, and I don't know why I fall for it each time, but when I tell you I am educated, but when it comes to him, I do very stupid things. Like the dual chip. It was very good tasting, but it hurt. Like, I had an ice pack, I put it on my stomach, it melted it in seconds. Like, it's no exaggeration, and that was the first time
it raises your body
cramps.
temperature when you eat enough of it. Capsaicin works differently.
But he wanted to do it then and there. He wouldn't wait for Jason. Jason is the person he normally does his challenges with. He lives in Maryland. And I felt so stupid. I'm like, I should have said I had to pet my pet unicorn that day. I should have done something different. But looking back at it, I'm glad that I do it because I wish more women would do this. Like Katie from Seattle Eats. She's trying to get more women to do it.
Yeah.
And
KTB Saucy.
Yeah, KTB Saucy. But he ropes me into it, but I also enjoy interacting with people in the chili community because even like Frank and Cuzzy, you mentioned them, they're the garden Goombas. They're not exactly with the chili stuff, but they encourage Chris like crazy. Like it's like this whole little community that comes together as a family and supports one another. And you can even be pinned up against someone. I love Farmer Jay. There's this guy named Farmer Jay. He held up Jason's hand when he was ready to tap out and saying, yeah, Jason's ready to do another pepper. Let's go.
Yeah, he was ready to tap out. He picked his hand up and pushed the pepper towards his face.
Everyone's so supportive, and I love that.
Yeah, I feel like it's with like anything else, like whether you're in the weight room or whatever it might be. Like you have this support system, and you can literally get to that next level with that support. So it's fascinating. It really is. And growing up, you talk about things that are hot, and it's just like, oh, it's just pepper. It's hot. Like you don't think about, and I'm sure the internet helps with all this too. But like you don't think about like where it could take you. And I feel like I saw some video of you like traveling and things like that. I don't know where it was. I feel like it wasn't like, oh, you're down the road at.
I was in Georgia and Texas and South Carolina.
I mean, how cool is that like this community, this whole thing is taking you to places you may not have otherwise seen?
See, I'm not a big fan of traveling when it comes to just driving somewhere and looking at something. Like it has to be like something to do. Like I don't like the just go down and let's see what's there and figure it out while we're there. Like I like to plan ahead. And
Sure.
This first started with Georgia. Today's adventure was hosting a wing off of sorts at Sauce Daddy's in Sonoya, Georgia. Now, Sonoya, Georgia is the town where they record The Walking Dead. I don't know if you watched The Walking Dead at all, but
I stopped as I forget what season. We got to a point where I'm like, this is dumb. Like I loved it. I loved it. What's that?
The season with the governor?
Maybe. It's probably that.
So the town that the governor ruled over,
yeah,
that's Sonoya, Georgia. That downtown is where it takes place. Alexandria from the newer seasons, that's literally right across the street from where they shot the town where the governor ruled. So it was awesome because I love The Walking Dead. I watched it from 1 to the end, and just going down there and seeing the big walls from the community and the characters, and they have the Walking Dead store and all that. So I competed down there. That was the first time. It wasn't anything big. It was just 2 people. They had a bunch of people back out last minute kind of deal. I won that one. They wanted to do it again the second year, but this year they wanted to make it big. They're having a big Memorial Day, I think it was. Memorial Day celebration, and there was thousands of people. Like they blew this up. The town was involved. The council was involved. It was advertised. There was 15 to 20 people involved. It headlined the event more or less. And the funny part is 2 of the cast members from The Walking Dead participated in the second year. That's a 13-hour drive. First time we ended up driving down last minute, thinking it wasn't a big deal. It was exhausting. The second time we had planned to go down there for a week, but we ended up moving the same week, and we didn't get done moving until 3 days into when we were supposed to leave. So we went down last minute again. So the 2 characters that were involved were actually Carol's husband from the first season and another person from Negan's group. And when I found out they were in it, I kept messaging them, like harassing them, like being that guy, like blowing it up, like cutting promos and stuff like that. And I went down there and I had my vest on. I looked like a biker and my jeans on, my boots. And they were doing an autograph signing in the Walking Dead store. And normal people were like, all starstruck, it's a celebrity autograph photo. I walked in, I went, you're done, and you're done. And they're like, whoa, what did we do? Like, no idea who I was. I'm like, I'm coming for you. You're not lasting in this wing competition. No, you're the guy that they keep talking about. We don't even know if we want to do this. And they're talking to me like normal human beings. And they're like how I should be starstruck. They're just looking at me like this. And it was so funny because everybody's like, you're just breaking these guys' balls. These are actors. These are Hollywood people. Like, you don't even care. And I'm like, they're coming after what's mine. Like, you got a competition to focus on. And I talked to him for a little bit, walked around, got close to Alexandria, bought some stuff. The next day at the event, massive gathering, thousands of people gathered around us. There was name tags, people sitting along the rows. Everybody was out. The character from Walking Dead asked to be at the opposite end of the table because I was too intimidating. So I'm all the way at the other end of the table, eating the first wing, standing up, yelling, "Yo, guys, how you doing down there? These are good, aren't they?" Like just doing that, like breaking their balls big time. And I ended up getting head to head with one of the guys. Now, my problem was they allowed people to drink and eat with it. Yeah. So they were pounding milk down, and I'm sitting there stone faced, nothing. I pushed my milk off the table, my water off the table. I'm like, this is not. I went head to head with a guy at the end that literally looked like he was about to pop. He was beet red. He was drooling. They ended up having to do a tiebreaker round with Toe of Satan. It's a 9 million Scoville Unit lollipop. And this guy, they did a timer and they counted down, and we were both still sitting there with a lollipop. So if you watch the video, I get up, I turn my chair, and I sit towards him, and he turns and sits towards me. So we're face to face sitting in our chairs, and we know either of us would give up. People are walking away because they're going back to the show starting and everything. And I said, he's not swallowing his saliva. He's letting it drool out and everything. I'm like, I'll take your lollipop out. You take mine out in the count of 3, and we'll call it a draw. And he said, okay. And we did, because I saw his kids were excited for him, and he was trying to impress his wife and this and that. So I'm like, let's do it. So we did it. And I gave him the trophy, and I said, let him have the gift card. Like, I still got stuff or whatever. I got $100 gift card or credit for the store. And it was just really cool. That was like my first big event besides the pepper off at Rodano's.
Right.
So and then it went into where I was starting to creep up on the top 100 for League of Fire. And I was reached out to about an event in Texas. Now, I've traveled to Arizona for work. I went to Vegas. I've never been to Texas or anything like that. So I got reached out to about this event, inviting me to go by League of Fire. And I said, yeah, let's do it. Sponsors paid way for me. My brother-in-law, my one sponsor, Tony, he paid for my flight. Another sponsor, my other brother-in-law, paid for my hotel. So off to Texas we went. We ended up getting delayed for hours and hours and hours. It was hell. We made it. There's more behind the whole Texas thing that I can't disclose because I don't want to get hit with a lawsuit, but there was a streaming service that was recording for something. And there was a lot of interviews and interaction and big cameras in our face and doing this and that. So this is like big time. Like, this is how you get out there and you get known. And this was for the League of Fire Chili Eating Championship. This is for the red title. This covers Canada and the United States. So they pulled the top 10 chili heads in the community that were able to first come, first serve basis, because they invited 100 people. And I was one of those, 1 out of 10 that got chosen out of 100. So that's even more massive. And we're going up against people like Mike Jack. He's a multi-world record holding speed eater. He holds records all over the place. He was the champion for the title belt once before. You have the Atomic Menace, Dustin. You have Bat Pants, Farmer Jay, Yoshi, Jason from Late for Work, Bob the Voice, Midge, KTB Saucy, like so many different people. And I'm sorry if they listen and I missed anybody. I don't mean to. But they all competed with me, and it was a gauntlet setup where you have rounds of peppers. And I went through grueling prep for this. Like, I was eating pod after pod after pod. I was eating at work for lunch. I was doing prep videos where I was eating. My first time I did 10, second time I did 16, the next time I did 20, the next time I did 40. So it's like I was prepping myself to take on all this heat. I was an underdog. I was a nobody. Nobody knew me. People heard of me. Zachary Goot was another one. He knew who I was. He was excited to meet me. I was excited to meet everybody. I got to meet Shahina for the first time, Johnny Scoville, and all the crazy people in the chili community. And it was so surreal because they set us up on the big stage, hundreds of people, and they had intros. You got to pick your own entrance. And I came out to Seth Rollins, Burn It Down from WWE. And I was like the only one energy, like, come on, let's go. Like, let's do this. And the contest started. And people are eating, people are dropping out, people are eating. Get to the final round. We're already 20 minutes past our time, and the actual person of the event was actually getting mad. They wanted us to get the hell off the stage. And you still had 3 people left. You had me, the defending champion, Mike Jack. So I'm a nobody, never done this before, and I'm in the top 3. So I'm sitting there, we're getting to one of the last rounds, and I'm like, are we going to do a Scoville Slammer challenge or not? And they're like, what, really? I'm like, yeah, you told us we were probably going to have to do one. So we did one. And it was funny because I was burning a little bit, but it reset me. The slammer reset everything. We get to that. It didn't knock either of those two out. Didn't knock me out. So like, all right, we're out of time. There was 4. No, Dustin.
And the guy that played.
Oh yeah, Dustin. I'm sorry. Atomic Menace was in there. So it was 4 of us. None of us got knocked. They're like, all right, we have to do a speed round because we're out of time. And right there, I was out of fault because you have Mike Jack, who is a world record holder, speed eater, competing for this belt. He already has the advantage. They put down the peppers in front of us, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the small ones first, and then I'm going to do the jalapeno last because the jalapeno was like this. It was girthy. It was big. I'm like, I'll do that last because that'll be the hardest. So we're doing these peppers. We're powering them down, and I have everybody starting to gather around me. And got Johnny Scoville and Shaheen are standing by like, come on, do it. You're going to win. You're going to win. And Mike Jack's down at the other end, and his wife yells, what are you doing? He's going to beat you. And he goes into championship eating mode. And he just goes, boom, 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 done. And he won, and I was 6 seconds behind him, 6 seconds away from claiming the title. And after that, it was like the Scoville Unit. Holy crap, where the hell did he come? The dark horse the dark horse that nobody knew was going to come out of nowhere, because they kept saying when they would ask during interviews before it, who do you think's going to win this? Who's your dark horse? And you're like, there's always one.
You weren't on
and I wasn't on anybody's radar. They asked Johnny Scoville. They asked everybody, who do you think's going to win? They all said Mike Jack or Bat Pants or Atomic Menace. I wasn't in the radar, and I ended up finishing second. I got officially second because I finished just after he finished, and the other 2 didn't finish. So it was like, it was huge. And then people were talking to me, wanting to get to know me, asking me for my information. So that was huge. And this story is long, but it's incredible how this is where a majority of my time, energy, sweat, blood, and cramps and tears have come from through this. So we were supposed to go home the next day. And I was upset because I had so much fun and everybody was staying an extra day. And our flight ended up getting delayed again, like 8 hours. And I'm like, I'm not doing this again. We're staying the extra day. We'll catch the first flight in the morning. Let's see if we could do it. They ended up switching it over for no charge. So we ended up staying and I'm like, okay, cool. So we're doing stuff and they're talking, oh, there's an amateur pepper contest the next day. Do you guys want to compete? And I'm like, well, hell, if I'm going to win something, might as well win that. So I was like, okay, we'll do it, blah, blah, blah. The next morning, they're like, hey, change of plans. We don't want you guys competing in that. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Why not? Like, because we want you to do the attempt for the world record for the most 7-pop primos eaten in one sitting. Right now, Johnny Scoville holds the record at 20. So me and my buddy Jason were like, okay, let's do it. So instead of doing that, Beth ended up competing in the amateur competition with Jason's fiance, Kim.
That's my best friend, and we're both stupid.
And Steve from the old Agnes store. And anybody that's looking to get involved in any of these challenges or wants to try them, check out the old agnesstore.com. You can get them on there. They're in the United States. They're fairly decently priced. You don't have to pay the overseas shipping and the crazy markup from over there. But fast forward to the next day, and I'm like, last minute prep. Okay, I got to go eat. I got to go do this. I got to do that. We get there. They do the amateur competition. Beth did amazing. You made it 4 rounds, right?
I didn't know I could blow my nose.
She was like,
I was sick. I was so sick. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it for Steve because the people that own Old Agnes are complete sweethearts, Steve and Michelle. And he talked me and Kim into it. And Kim's out. So like a 7th grade girl, I'm like, yes, I'm not the first one out, but I'll go out with my best friend because I'm about.
Yeah, they walked off the stage together. So we watched the rest of that, and right after that, they're like, all right, we're going to do the world record attempt at the League of Fire table. So it's a little table with stuff set up. Everybody gathered around this table. When I'm talking like the entire population was gathered around this one area, and that peeved off the people that ran the event because they're like, you're taking away from our vendors, you're taking away from the cooking show.
The vendors were even there.
The vendors were even there. They left their stands and put "Be Back Later" signs up. And they were like crowded around, and you had me and Jason sitting at this table. Like I posted this video everywhere because it was just like this is like my proud achievement of my career, my short career. So the record was 20. So what they did is they took 39 and 39 peppers, right? Was it 39? Yeah. And they set them up in 2 bowls next to us, but one had a little bit more weight than the other. So Jason said to give it to me, but obviously if one of us gave up, they'd give the other one. So we're going. Jason didn't prep at all. He's still suffering from the day before. I'm fine. I purged. I was good. I ate. We're going. I'm not feeling anything. And Jason gets the 9 pepper, and he's like, I can't do this anymore. And I'm powering through this. And he's like, oh, yeah, we're going to give him his bowl. He'll finish all of them. I'm like, oh, thanks. So I'm sitting here in my head thinking I'm going to stop at 22. Oh, no. We're not stopping at 22. It's like, oh, keep going. He officially has beat the record. I'm holding the world record. I'm like, yes, but he's going to keep going. He's going to eat all of them. Boom, boom, boom. I get done with the first bowl. I'm at 39. So at this point, I've eaten 19 more than what the record was. They're like, oh, we're going to give you Jason's bowl. And they did the weight, going. And at this point, I'm starting to slow down because I'm getting pepper fatigue, like the taste, and my stomach's getting full. But I'm sitting there and I did that thing where I just I picked a spot and I focused and I literally stopped hearing everybody around me and I started hearing ringing and I kept I had earmuffs on, I was just hearing my breath going in and out. And I always put my Opus picture in front of me when I do challenges and competitions because it's my drive. And 26 minutes and 32 seconds later, 69 peppers, 256 grams of weight. I am officially the world record holder of the 7-pop primo in one sitting by more than triple.
I was going to say, I feel like that's, you really took that, you met the bar and you took it to the next level, levels upon levels, further.
And I only stopped because we ran out of pods. And it was just, in what happened after that was just it was like fairy tale. It was like a Cinderella story moment where everybody's like, come on, you got this. And it was just like a Disney movie at the end where they win, the home team wins the game and everybody just goes, ah! And I did I did it thing. And
yeah,
it was just it was incredible. People were cheering and yelling and screaming and everybody's coming up to me. And I'm like, thank you guys. And I'm okay. And all of a sudden I'm like, all right, I need to turn around and throw up now. So I have people standing, hovering over me so I can throw up in the bucket. And I'm eating ice cream, drinking milk. And unbelievable. Like I said, now because of that competition, I'm ranked second. I was first, but Mike Jack did the attempt at the world record for reapers and got to 130. So the points that he accumulated got him above me. Oh, and it's been crazy. I'm trying to get my top spot back, but he keeps doing stuff, and it's making it very hard for me to catch him.
Yeah. You mentioned prepping for all this. Like, what does that look like? I mean, I
carbs, lots of carbs. My go-to is potatoes and pancakes. So I have it down to a science now. It's an hour to an hour and a half before I do a challenge. I eat 4 pancakes and 2 servings of potatoes, or I eat just 4 servings of mashed potatoes and some other stuff like a regular meal. But I make sure I eat more than what I typically would. Like if it's going to be a regular meal and there's going to be like chicken and other stuff involved, I'll do it 2 hours before. So this way I can eat a little bit more, so I'm actually stuffed. And the reason I do that is because if you don't, and you try doing any of this stuff, any of the hotter sauces on an empty stomach, you get something that's called capsaicin cramps. It literally has been compared to labor pains. Bella from Heat 101 has compared it to labor pains. She's like, I was in labor for 18 hours and I never felt anything this painful. And it's no joke. It's crippling. It knocks me down. I'm like doing the gator roll on the bathroom floor. I'm writhing in pain. I'm dripping sweat. I'm wincing in pain. I'm practically in tears. I'm throwing up. I'm dry heaving. And then you get into this, like you get the shivers and you're freezing, and it literally comes in waves. It'll come, it'll go, it'll come, it'll go. And it's literally like you can't do anything or move anywhere where it stops it from hurting. And it's just ungodly pain.
I don't think people understand like what goes into this. I sure as hell didn't. Like,
no,
you're talking a 1 to 2 hour prep to like, and this is insane.
It's not fun when you get cramps, and sometimes there's just no way around it. If you do enough of it, regardless of what's in your stomach, if you don't get it back up, your body's still going to digest it. It doesn't matter what kind of food. That food is there to absorb it. It's just like drinking alcohol. Alcohol's a poison.
Right.
What do you do before you go out and put on a binge? You drink.
Yeah.
Before you drink, you go out and eat. You get food in your stomach. It stops you from getting drunk.
Get some big greasy burgers. Yeah.
What happens if you don't eat before you drink? 2 beers in,
yep,
you're
hammered.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. If you eat a lot, you can take more. Now, it doesn't do anything for the mouth, but if you don't eat anything, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So the prep is a big part of it, but you also have to be willing to accept what might come after. Same thing with drinking. You got to expect a hangover.
Yeah. And it's equivalent to, I'll say sports, and I'll probably get roasted for that. But like,
yeah, I've been roasted for saying that.
But no, yeah, you're not fit. You're not physically like, you're not on the football field smashing heads with other people, like things like that. But like, you're preparing your body. You're training. You're
practicing.
Yeah, you're practicing. You're preparing. You're competing against people.
Pool is a sport. Bowling is a sport.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's.
Why can't pepper eating be? Like they consider hot dog eating a sport. They have a big epidemic for it every New Year.
Yeah. Yeah. I never kind of thought about the whole process. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah. So my prep started for ZestFest, but a month and a half before I actually went. I was doing a video on Tuesdays and a video on Saturday, doing prep work, doing challenges. But during my off time, I was doing videos of me eating pods, 5 or 6 at a time, 7 at a time, jumping on people's lives with them to eat pods and burn. Occasionally just doing it on an empty stomach, 1 or 2 pods, just so I could feel the pain, so my body can get used to it.
Right.
And I think I had myself so beat into prep and practice and training that my body didn't feel any of it at the belt match, because I didn't feel any of it. It didn't, not until afterwards when I was fighting that security guard for that garbage can, and I laid on the floor for a half hour. Once that half hour was up and I was able to purge, I was right back at it, going around sampling sauces, doing all that.
That's nuts. You're nuts. You're nuts.
That's another way I get dragged into it. People think This is a Popko Project exclusive.
Ooh.
People think that I can handle the same heat that Chris can.
Just because she's married to me.
That's not true at all. So
No.
I get dragged into trying stuff, and then I'm like one of those people that feel guilty to say, oh no, I don't want to try your stuff if it's too hot, right? Because that can be rude. So there I am, being an idiot, trying those sauces confidently, and I feel bad, but it raises your tolerance.
And it's funny because I took a little bit of a hiatus at the end of the year to let my body recover, because for 4 months straight, it felt like 4 months, but it was really October, November, December. September, October, November, December, where I was just training and practicing and doing all this to my body on almost every other day, twice a week, 3 times a week. And I wanted to take a break. So her not wanting it, she's like, oh, people are going to forget you. She's like, I'll do some videos. So she started doing videos and sampling sauces, and she doesn't understand the concept of prepping. So I'm at work and she's on there. I'm watching her videos while I'm at work. I'm doing my paperwork. And I'm messaging her saying, I hope you prepped. You're going to hate yourself after this. And then 20 minutes after the live, I get the message, I don't feel good.
If you don't prep, you can't throw it up. And if you can't throw it up, it's being digested,
Yep.
which means cap cramps. And then it also means it's going to hurt coming out.
Sure.
That prep food is also a big part of you purging it, because if you have, like, say, a hard example to explain it, when you have soda in a cup and you add Mentos, what happens? It causes it to go up. You have food in your stomach and you add it to it, you get sick. What happens? That stuff acts like the soda and acts like the meds and pushes it up and gets it out. Right. It's kind of like a level. You put a board, put stuff on top of it, and you push it up. What happens? It falls off and comes out. So that's kind of the reasoning for the heavy prep, because you want to purge that. Nobody wins when you get cap cramps. Nobody gets points from cap cramps. So there's no reason to keep it in your system. And I'm almost positive your body does not gain a tolerance to cap cramps in your stomach.
Are you at all worried about the quote unquote damage you're doing to your body? I mean,
you do not get ulcers from spicy food.
Okay.
You do not.
That like old wives' tale?
It's false.
Okay.
So the only thing is you can burn your esophagus because you're constantly puking. You can hurt yourself that way. Obviously, your body's blood pressure is going up when you have cramps and this and that. You can have side effects there. But in all reality, peppers are good for you. They're good for your blood flow. They help with diabetes. They have blood pressure, blood count, all of that. It's very healthy for you. It's actually been linked to helping with certain types of cancer. And a lot of people, if you look it up, capsaicin is used for pain relief. They make balm out of it, like a rub, like a CBD oil. They actually use capsaicin for pain relief, and it works. And it's funny because after I cramp really, really, really hard, I feel like I'm 15 again. I don't have any pain. I have energy. I'm nimble. I'm not sore. I'm not stiff. It literally detoxes your system, and it does something where it makes you feel like you're completely healthy again. And it's funny to say that because people actually use capsaicin. Ed Curry, he's the creator of the Carolina Reaper. He created the Carolina Reaper trying to help find cures to diseases and stuff. Another gentleman that does work with peppers is actually doing it to work with cannabis to create medical, breakthroughs with using peppers and capsaicin. So that peppers are just more than something to eat. They're actually being used to help with in the medical industry.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Like, we're in 2023, and even like CBD within the last couple of years has been a very great thing to utilize to ease pain and reduce pain and things like that. So it's crazy, like to something you eat and that can cause pain, right? Can hopefully or potentially or does help negate it.
Yep, that is 100% true.
Yeah, it's wild. What a fascinating industry. This whole thing. Like it's something I never thought about before. You think about people just you eat peppers and they're hot and you can handle it. No big deal. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
there's just
And
different
when I
levels.
said that when I started out, I was nobody in this now. Like, it's amazing because I have people messaging me almost daily asking me for one of my cards, my player cards, signed to send back to them so they could put it with their collection, or people asking me for advice. Like, I was starstruck the other day. Shahina, the UK Chili Queen, 97-0, messaging. Well, she was 95-0 when she messaged me asking me for advice on how to prep for a competition. Like, I've just started doing this 2 years ago, and you've been doing this for 10 years now, and you're messaging me asking, and you're the top person in the chili community asking me for advice. Like, I was like, whoa. Because she even said, she's like, I'm amazed by what you're capable of doing because you're so new to it. And even Johnny Scoville said 7 years ago when the Reaper didn't exist and it was just ghost pepper was the thing, nobody could do the stuff that people are doing now. It wasn't even thought of. Like, eating 2 or 3 ghost peppers was unheard of. Now people are eating hundreds and putting these things down like it's out of nowhere, and it's growing. Like I said, Europe is 5 years ahead of us on this.
Yeah. Let's talk about the future. I mean, I think today is, I think, the January 10th. Yeah, January 10th. This will probably be released, the next 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
Talk about the future of the Scoville unit. I think tonight you had actually a meeting with Bartari to talk about a wing off in 2023. I think that's in February. Talk about, the future of, pepper eating, all that kind of stuff, as well as like things that you're going to be part of this year.
So the future is bright, obviously. There's a lot of
it's hot. Future's hot.
Hot and bright, red hot. There's a lot of opportunity out there when it comes to this, and people wouldn't even think that. You're already thinking, okay, I competed last year. Am I going to compete this year? Where am I going to compete? How much training am I going to have to do? What am I going to compete for? What am I going to be eating? So there's so much to think of in that standard, but I can't do that solely on my own. That's why I'm grateful for my sponsors, like my brother-in-law at Akron East Consulting, or American Eagle Solutions, or Wiener World, and then my newest sponsor in Gardner, which is the reason why I've been able to get around recently. They're a big part of what I do. They have an Etsy where they make sauces. They're legitimate. They're making challenges now. They have the soon to be new world's hottest pepper called Pepper D, and I could vouch it's a lot hotter than the Carolina Reaper. But sponsorships are a big deal, and if it wasn't for them, my future would not be possible. So a big shout out to them. But this year, you were saying about the wing off. I wanted to do something in my own. I'm always going to people's stuff and being a part of other people's stuff. And I have people on, and she does interviews of people coming on the channel to talk to them about what they do, their small businesses and all that, to spotlight everybody, because I don't want to do this on my own. I don't want this to be a selfish thing that it's only about me and always about me. No, I want other people to grow and to build and to strive in this community. So I want to take as many people along for the ride as I possibly can. So I thought I need to do something. And I went to Bartari with Beth because that's her favorite restaurant right now. And obviously I love it because of the old school arcade games.
Sure.
And I'm sitting there at the table, and I took a photo, and I said, I wonder if Bartari, and I tagged them, would be interested in doing some kind of wing off, because I've been in them. And they responded immediately almost. And I said, well, let's reach out and see how this works. So after a couple weeks of back and forth and waiting for the holidays to be over, tonight we finally met up, and officially February 25th at 1 p.m., myself and Beth will be hosting a Wing Off 2023 at Bartari. It will be 10 rounds of pain, 10 wings, 10 sauces, 1 winner. And how this is going to go is we're allowing 20 people to sign up. As of right now, I still have some spots open. So if anybody's interested in getting involved and wanting to be a part of it, they're more than welcome. Obviously, they'll have to sign a release form, because I'm not going to go easy on anybody. I want everybody to be able to compete, but it's beatable. It's going to be beatable. They're all sauces. They're not going to be like, you can't do this, you're going to die kind of thing. Like, it's doable. And I'm confident that there's going to be people that are going to hang around and not thinking they can. So I encourage it. If you're curious and you think you like spice, just try it while you can. Right now, I think I have 7 or 8 signed up. I got people traveling in from Maryland, South Carolina, North Carolina. I'm trying to think where else. Locally in Pennsylvania, a couple YouTube channels. And I'm going to be providing some of my sauces, some of the sauces off the wall behind me. And Bartar's going to be providing some house sauces. And I'm excited because today we discussed there's going to be prizes. There's going to be a $50 gift card, shirts, sauces, and a bunch of other cool stuff that I'm going to try to get some stuff together from other channels to donate towards it. There's going to be 2 raffles. It's just going to be awesome. It's going to be big. And special guest hosts, the Garden Goombas, nice. They are going to be the commentators. And I do a pretty damn good Cuzzy impersonation.
I was going to ask you before, like an hour ago. I'm like, I want you to do your best Garden Goomba. I want your Cuzzy. I want super excited.
Guys, we're here with Doc. Where's Doc at?
It's pretty good.
It's spot on, man. He cracked up when I did it in front of him one day.
That's real good.
But I love those guys. They're the Goombas. They're unofficial sponsors. Doc and Cuzzy have pushed me to my next level. If it wasn't for their pepper contest, I don't even know if I'd be here. Doc and Cuzzy have helped me so much. Like they made that video with me, the training video. It was a hit. I love doing that video. That was probably one of my favorite videos. I love watching their stuff. They're some amazing guys. Their personalities are fantastic, and I definitely want to incorporate them as much as I possibly can because of what they're doing for the communities around here with their garden stuff. So massive shout out to those guys.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about the Garden Goombas, you can go to episode 94 of the Popko Project and check out an interview with those guys. And just recently, they were also on an episode of Getting to Know the 570. Yep. I've not listened to that yet, but I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, I have to go over and listen to it myself.
Yeah, Frankie and his team there at Getting to Know the 570 are great people. I was on their show as well, so I'm sure it was a great episode. So awesome. Check out episode 94 of the Popko Project to listen to that, and then also the Getting to Know the 570. I'm not sure what episode number that is, but shout out to the Garden Goombas for sure.
Yeah, big shout out.
Can you do that again? Do it again.
Super excited, guys. Where's Doc at?
You see the video, the promo video for that?
For what?
They did a promo video for the episode for.
No, I heard about it. I'm like, I didn't even see it. Like,
yeah, it's
tell me they were going to be on it. That's my fault. I didn't talk to Doc for a little while. I haven't been going to my back adjustments recently. So
yeah, check that out. It's funny.
I'll have to check it out. But
Doc is, as always, is in the interesting situations that you don't expect him to be in, but
no, always
cool.
You were saying about the future. I want to touch on this quick.
Yeah.
My end all be all for all of this, for this to go, is I want to be at the top of my game and to be the guy that everybody wants to come after, which already seems to be happening because so many people like, I'm going to beat you. I'm catching up to you. I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, go ahead, do it. Like, give me something to fight for. Because right now there's only one person above me that I have to fight for this year, but I have 12 other people ahead of me in the overall. So I have a lot of work to do, and I plan on continuing to do it. My end of the year plan for this is I'm hoping to capture the title this year. There's a possibility of me traveling to London this year to compete, my first time out of the country. A not so official invite to the event out there. And my next big feat this year is going to be breaking the world record for the most Carolina Reapers consumed. Once pods are in season, I'm going to attempt to eat 200 Carolina Reapers.
And what was your previous number?
So I ate 69
69
7-pot primos, which I'm positive the 7-pot primos are hotter than Carolina Reapers. It's not just about the heat, it's about the quantity.
Sure.
About filling your stomach up. So that's another big thing for me. That's this year. Now, those are goals I have set. I don't know where I can go from there besides either gaining the top spot overall and gaining the top spot for 1 year. Because once I get a number one spot for that 1 year, I'm not going to keep pushing because it's expensive to do this. Sponsors help, but it's just so expensive. $100 does not go a long way when you buy these challenges.
Right.
But the end of the line for me, pretty much a retirement state from doing these competitions, is that win the title, be number one ranked overall at some point. But I want to open up my own hot sauce shop, just the Scoville Unit. That's what's going to be called, the Scoville Unit Sauce Shop. And I want to open it up locally because there's no hot sauce shops around here. and I want to buy sauces from all around the world and sell them in bulk at my store and do YouTube giveaways and all that other stuff. And that's my end all be all.
Very cool. Can people buy your sauce now?
Yes, you can find us at thescovilleunit.com. All my sauces are available. I'm going to be putting jerky up on there soon. I've been told I have some of the best jerky in the area. So I take pride in that because people are like, we want your jerky. Can you give me like 2 pounds? And then 2 days later, like, I'm out. Could you order me? Could I get more? And I'm just little by little, I'm doing what I need to do. Eventually I want to send out sauces to get tested and do all that and be able to put it in stores. But for right now, it's just small batch stuff.
Sure.
If anybody wants it, they can reach out to me and I'll help them out.
Cool. I'm a self-proclaimed jerky connoisseur.
Yeah.
So I'll have to hit you up and get some of that jerky.
Yeah, definitely.
You can go to the grocery store, and I used to go to this place, Wild Meats in Wilkes-Barre.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I think it's still open. But I'm a very particular as far as like texture and things like that. I hate the stuff that almost feels like you're chewing on fat. I don't like that. But I don't like the stuff that's too hard either. I'm very particular about my jerky. So I'd be interested in trying yours.
Yeah, definitely. I would be more than happy to make you some.
Sweet. That's awesome. Well, like you said, I mean, the future sounds hot and bright for the Scoville Unit, Mr. and Mrs.
Thank you.
I wish you guys both the best of luck. I don't know how you do it. I learned more tonight in the past hour than I ever thought I would about competitive eating and hot stuff in general. I don't care if we get roasted about comparing this to a sport. I mean, yeah, obviously you're not.
Okay.
You're not there taking hits from giants on a football field and things like that. But like, you're literally preparing. I mean, like anything else. Like, there's wrestlers who prepare for wrestling. Like they starve themselves, they dehydrate themselves, all that kind of shit. Like, they're at the end of the day, you are preparing for something. Well, whether it's physical or what. I mean, it is physical, so you can't even say that. So screw it. Well, it's comparable to a sport. Fuck you guys.
Exactly. Just because you don't understand it, you can't do it, doesn't mean it's not a sport.
Just because we can't run 5 miles without,
Just because I can't golf doesn't mean it's not a sport.
Right? Exactly.
Just I can't play basketball doesn't mean it's not a sport.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, God damn it. We all have our callings, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't prepare. It's funny. I told you, I thought this interview was tomorrow because I'm an idiot and scheduled the wrong day. And so I prepared in 5 minutes, and hopefully it was enough. Actually, I don't like to prepare too much because I like to be the dumb idiot in the room and you tell me what's going on, because no one can tell me better than the person that I'm interviewing. So I don't like to do too much like prep work, but sorry about that.
No, you're good. You did great, man. Honestly, when it comes to stuff like this, and people always say, like, what you talk so much about it and this and that, it becomes like a second nature, like asking questions, feeding off of the previous answer to roll into your next question and stuff like that. So you did great. And congratulations on the beer, by the way. I didn't get a chance to try it yet. I'll have to locate some.
I think it's sold out. This is actually a dummy can.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I had to keep it for my records.
That's
Love it.
wicked.
But I've actually, it's funny. We'll talk off air. I've got some more ideas I want to do this year. I don't want to talk about them out loud until it actually just came to me the last couple of days. But one thing I want to talk to you about is actually a thing I've had in mind for the past couple of years. Maybe we can kind of collaborate on that.
Yeah, definitely.
But dude, I mean, you came out of nowhere. It's the kind of the story you heard. You're the dark horse, right?
Yep.
So kudos to you. Kudos to your grandfather. I keep calling him your grandfather because I don't want to fuck up the name you've been calling him.
Opa. Opa.
Opa. I don't want to be disrespectful. So I just
You're okay, man.
was going with grandfather, but I'm sure he's very proud of you. The sky's the limit. I hope you can retire at the level, you get to that level you want to retire at, and that's cool. And it's really cool that you're, this wing off that you're doing February 25th.
February 25th.
It's kind of neat that you're bringing something to the community that they can be a part of as well, because that's something that's like also important. I think like, doing that beer and kind of, that was a whole like kind of a back mountain vibe type thing to it. And I donated the money that we raised to my old high school. And it's cool that, people like us who have the resources to create events and get community involved and things like that. I think that's important because not everyone's doing that, right? Like, it's not a lot of work, but it's still work. It's planning, it's meetings, it's this and it's that. And if there's not people like us out there, then, there's just nothing to do. And that's always the thing about NEPA is there's nothing to do around here, but like, we're creating things to do. And so kudos to you for that. That's really something you should hang your hat on. And, keep eating those peppers, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I'll actually try and get this out earlier than I thought I was because, you have limited spots for this wing off. I don't want this to come out after you fill those spots. So I'll try and do my best to get this. I'll jockey some episodes around, but
appreciate it.
Yeah, best of luck for the wing off at Bar Tari on February 25th. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the newspaper again, and hometown hero travels to London, all that kind of stuff. So
and feel free to stop by on February, man. Stop by and say hey to Cuzzy and Doc, and maybe I can show you some of my sauces that I make that probably won't kill you.
That's good. I don't want to die. I don't want to be in pain. I want to enjoy the flavor.
It's really interesting to watch them though, like people doing this. It's definitely I've only got to see it 2 or 3 times now, people doing something that I'm not doing and I'm used to doing it. It's so different from when you're doing it compared to watching it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Cool. Well, best of luck to both of you.
Thank you, you too. And thanks for allowing us to be on.
Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm so glad we did this. Like this whole thing is 95% music. But I always like to talk to those people who are doing different things and creative and creating that content and just adding value to the world around us. And you're doing that obviously by competing for our area, competing in general, doing this stuff at Bar Tari. So kudos to you again. And hopefully I'll see you soon, man. We never met in person, so
yeah, definitely.
I hope we can
be awesome.
Shake those hands and all that kind of stuff. But and take care of him, all right? And take care of her because she's she's competing too. And take care of each other.
Thanks.
Stick around. We'll talk for a minute.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys.